Konnichiwa. Okay, so the next thing, kind of like the top 3 culture shocks in terms of this really surprised me about, I don't know, Europe or Spain or France or whatever.
そうだね。一番は、タバコを吸う人が多い。めっちゃ多い。So many smokers, especially on the street. And cigarette litter on the street. Yeah, I was shocked by how many people smoke in public places, at restaurants and cafes outside. And
Are we talking about France and Spain now, or like kind of you felt similar in most parts of Europe?
most parts of Europe. And I went to the countries, especially with high smoking populations. So I felt more like that too. But yeah, it was surprising, because I lived in the States for a year, and in the States, it's really seen as kind of like a taboo now. Like it's really seen as bad habit. So, but here in Japan, there's still more smokers compared to the States, and you see a smoking room inside the shopping mall and all that. But yeah, still the population for smokers are really high in a lot of countries in Europe, and and also in Spain. Sometimes I saw just a person who do like peek, just throwing out the cigarette, on the street.
This is an interesting point, actually, because I haven't checked the statistics now, but for many years, or at least the first few times we went to Japan in like late 90s, it was like the most. I mean, there were more smokers in Japan than almost like any place I could think of, and people smoked like everywhere in restaurants and blah blah blah. So things have changed these 25 years, but for me, I still think of Japan as kind of like a smoking country.
そっか。
But maybe it is different, like Southern Europe versus Scandinavia, because
Right.
I don't know, in Sweden it's like I think 5% of the population smoke here, so it's kind of
Yeah, it's different.
almost like a non-thing. Well, but it's an interesting point. Okay, number 2.
2番は、when I stayed in Riga, Latvia, for a month, I noticed that people don't usually smile at strangers. So, less smiling, fake smiling in everyday life to strangers. So, yeah.
But do you mean like when you meet people on the street, or do you mean when you walk into a store, or what do you?
Yeah, walk in the store or neighbors. I mean, in the same building, in the apartment. When you meet someone in Japan, you say, あ、こんにちは. And it's kind of like a manner rule. So, and also I'm apparently, clearly foreigner there. So I wanted to just give them good impressions that, to show that I'm not like a strange foreigner. So like I said, hi, hello. But they were like, why is she looking at me? And smiling for no reason, like those kind of face expressions.
Interesting. But in Spain, was it like that in Spain?
No, in Riga, Latvia.
Okay.
In Spain, it's different.
Yeah. I think people can sometimes be a little bit like that here as well. If you live in an apartment complex here in like Stockholm area, I mean, some neighbors say hi and some don't. So I think it can be a little bit like that.
So I was thinking why I felt lonely, and yeah, later I realized that I hadn't seen smiles a lot when I was in Riga, and then when I visited you in Stockholm, I saw some smiles, and then I was really happy. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that actually.
So.
But it's also fun because I think a lot of people think that Swedes can be a bit unsmiley as well.
Yeah, maybe in winter. In winter, yeah.
Yeah, more in winter, definitely. Yeah.
I've seen like a discussion comment saying like those, smiles to strangers are considered as like dishonest and lying, not sincere in some cultures and some European countries, like Poland and maybe Nordic countries too. But for me, I realized I need it. I need those fake smiles. Maybe because I'm used to it. No.
That's actually really good and interesting point. Okay, so your last point here, number 3.
3番目。は certain jobs done by specific people, like immigrants. It's not like a culture shock, and I knew that, but when I'm there, it's more kind of, obvious, clear. So for example, like food delivery drivers and taxi drivers, cleaners and store staff often came from specific foreign backgrounds. So it made me think about how I feel like how normalized that kind of clear divisions are in some European countries. And also it made me think how it will be like in Japan.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah, okay, I think that's kind of wraps it up for today. And well, we'll see you in next video. So, matane!